And now, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I only ask the place and time enough to give some small meaning to the meaningless and point to having lived.
Listen now to 2462, starring Lawson Zerbe, and written especially for Suspense by George Bamber.
I woke up on the floor, shivering. All my clothes were gone. It was like a nightmare I had dreamed many times before and dreaded coming true. At first, I thought I'd awakened in my own room, that somebody had taken all my furniture as well as my clothes. But then I realized it wasn't so much a room as it was a cube. An empty, sterile cube with luminescent walls that hummed with a soft blue-green light. I jumped up then and threw myself against the walls trying to find a way out. And there was none. No door, no window, not even a ventilation tube. I banged on the walls and screamed, but no one answered me. Nothing but the smooth plastic blue-green walls that hummed with the electric current in them, that gave them light and air and death. I slumped back down to the soft foam plastic floor of my cell, afraid to admit to myself where I was, and squeezed my eyes tight against the walls because I was afraid I was going to cry. Just then, the wall in front of me slid back on its tracks, and in the pale light of the corridor, I could see a large, shambling man in prison coveralls with a 9-digit number tattooed on his forehead. What do you want?
Follow me.
He turned his back on me and stepped on the moving conveyor in the corridor. I stumbled after him because I was afraid to be alone. And I had to know what was happening. Where are you taking me?
No talk. Follow me.
I could tell by the steady movement of his jaw and the dull, faraway look on his face that I could question him all day, and it wouldn't do any good. He was chewing tranquil gum, and the effect of that stuff lasts for a week. I could scream at him, and it wouldn't bother him. Nothing would bother him unless I tried to escape. I knew where I was now. There could be no doubt of that. I rode behind my silent guard, up and down what seemed like endless corridors, past row on row of cells just like the one I had left. Some of them had their reverse scanners on. That means you could see in, but the prisoners couldn't see out. Some of them were sitting in the middle of their cube, staring at nothingness. But most of them were slumped on the floor, asleep, kept that way by somnogas, a gentle gas that kept the inmates unconscious and manageable until their cases came up. I knew one day I would wind up here. And here I was in the most scientific escape-proof termination center in the world.
In here.
The guard stepped off the conveyor in front of a heavy chrome door marked courtroom and pushed a button. I moved through the doorway like a schoolboy called upon to recite. The room was not much bigger than the cell I had left, and as empty. A lieutenant sat behind a desk. His plastic bars gleamed at me brightly from his shoulders. I heard my guard close the door behind us, and then I noticed that one wall was completely covered with the sleepy face of a computer.
Sit down. Sit down.
I did as I was told on the only other piece of furniture in the place, a small 3-legged stool in the middle of the room. I wished that they had given me some sort of clothes to cover my nakedness because there was a young girl, a secretary, sitting at an electro-writer, taking down everything that was said, feeding it into the computer.
Your identity.
Frank Smith.
I said your identity.
I told you, sir.
Do not hold up the proceedings. Time is precious. You were issued a combination serial, social security, and telephone number that was imprinted on your forehead at birth. From here, it appears to be 108-303-715. Is that correct?
That is the number tattooed on my head.
Clerk, let the record show the subject is hostile.
Yes, sir.
Let us proceed. Case of the People versus 108-303-715. Convened in the first court at 1800 hours in this day of our world, 18 of November, 2462. 108-303-715, you are charged with 2 counts. 1, writing non-productive literature, and 2, wasting government time. How do you plead, true or false?
I don't understand.
Have you or have you not written poetry?
I'm a clerk in the Space Department.
True or false?
False.
I have here some 100 pieces of doggerel. I shall read a portion of one. See if you recognize it. In my treeless, greenless office, mid the bustling mad despair, I hunger after exile from the chrome and filtered air. Well,
It's not a very good poem, is it?
did you or did you not write this poem? True or false?
I hardly see
Answer, true or false?
False.
Account, then, for the fact that this poem was written on your electro typewriter.
There are millions of electro writers.
As you may or may not know, each electro writer has its own characteristics, as individual as fingerprints. An expert has identified this poem as coming from your machine. I can call him in to testify if you like.
There are 2 ships. I'm not the only one assigned to that machine.
You are not only a poet, but you are a very stupid one. Every electro writer imprints the date and hour of transmission. In every case, the poems were written on your machine, while you were supposed to be sitting at it doing the invaluable work of the Space Department. What have you to say?
What can I say?
You are charged with 2 very grave counts in this court: writing non-productive literature and wasting government time. How do you answer?
How else can I answer? Guilty.
108-303-715. You insist on imposing on this court concepts of legality as ancient as 1962. In this court, subjects are neither guilty nor not guilty. They are simply productive or non-productive, social or antisocial. I repeat, are these charges against you true or false? Answer one or the other.
False.
Very well. Clerk,
Yes, sir.
signal the judicial computer that all facts and considerations of this court are now at hand, and submit the subject's work record, fitness report, sanity estimation, IQ, cooperation quotient. Make certain-
I watched, like a sleepwalker, as the lieutenant handled the thin, punched, and tabulated cards that were the history of my life. I watched with a gambler's fascination as one by one she fitted them into the monster's mouth, and the lights blinked and flitted across its face, digesting my life and worth on Earth, and estimating in hours and minutes how much longer I would be permitted to stay. Suddenly, I realized the computer had stopped. The lights across its face were dark. The machine's mouth spat out a thin red plastic card, and the girl handed it to the lieutenant.
Number 108-303-715. It is the decision of this court that you are no longer essential or desirable to life on this earth.
What?
On the 343rd day of the year 2462, you will be taken from your cell to the Division of Agriculture for processing.
No.
Your corporal body will be reduced to its basic components.
Oh, no.
And your existence on Earth will be terminated.
No! Oh, no, no, no! No, in God's name, give me another chance.
It is the decision of this court.
You can't condemn a man to die just for writing a few lines of poetry.
Not for writing a few lines of poetry, for being a poet. If you were a scientist or an engineer, we could afford to overlook these recessive characteristics in your personality. Forgive the writing of a few lines of doggerel. But you are not a scientist or engineer or even a mathematician. You're a clerk in the Space Department. And according to your work record, not very good at that.
I have no head for figures.
At a time when the world is crying out a need of mechanical and technical brains, the best you're suited for is rhyming lists of words on scraps of paper. Can you possibly imagine that in our society we could
looking
allow
at the
even
young man who was a lieutenant, saw his eyes on me, his lips move, but no sound came out. Everything he said was true. The world was in trouble. 300, 400 years ago, they thought they were having a population explosion. They should see it now. People live as far beneath the ground as they did above. New York was built out 30 miles over the water, and people commuted to work from as far away as Ohio and Michigan. Even the deserts were populated. It took mathematical and technical brains just to keep it all going, not to mention the problem of finding new worlds in space.
It must be apparent that even if you had some mechanical ability for the service and repair of computers, machines...
I could try to learn.
But you have no mechanical ability. Your aptitude tests show that.
Well, just give me a chance to learn.
There is no time. The world needs these talents now, not a year from now, months from now.
Well, all I want is to live.
We all want to live. That's the whole problem. The function of this court is to weed out the people who are not necessary to the continuation of life from those who are. Artists, philosophers, theologians, and poets are not necessary. You have been found to be a poet.
I appeal to the mercy of the court.
There is no mercy in a mathematical
Well,
equation.
give me another chance, just one.
Number 108-303-715, you are wasting the court's time. I have many more cases to deal with today. As you stand now, you are a drain on the Earth's natural resources. In exactly 20 days from now, you will contribute to them. Case dismissed.
Look, I have one favor to ask. Everyone is granted one last request.
What is it?
I have the right, do I not, to spend my remaining days conscious?
Yes, but you should request semi-gas. Time goes much faster when you're asleep, and then the end is not so painful.
I want to spend my last days conscious.
Conscious? Why?
So I can write.
Right?
Yes, write. I wouldn't have to have an electro-writer in my cell. Just an asthmatic pen would do. I know how to use a pen and some paper. I know you have no power over the decision of the court, but just this one last request is one man to another.
Very well. Orders will be left that a pen and paper are to be placed at your disposal.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
No more can be granted than the law allows. You may spend your remaining days on Earth conscious and writing gibberish or poems or whatever you wish. Next case.
I had to bite my tongue to keep from shouting and turning handsprings all the way back to my cell. I had won the right to remain conscious during my last days on Earth. The right to have one more chance at life and freedom. I realized fully how small that chance was. In the days when men still believed that crime was cured by punishment, my cell would have been a jailer's dream. The smooth plastic walls were flawless. I searched the whole cube and found no more than the first time I saw them, not even the little pinholes that admitted the gas that finished you. I had hoped to dig under the soft foam rubber plastic on the floor with the point of my pen, but I dug at it and couldn't even scratch it. For what must have been 5 days, I studied the prison routine in hopes of jamming the door and overpowering one of the guards. But it was impossible. Once a day, the wall was rolled back and food was tossed in, wrapped in electroethylene, and then rolled back again before you could get to them. It was impossible to wait near the wall because the guards could see you waiting there and would not open it until you were well back in the center of the cell. On what must have been the 10th day, I began to have hallucinations. People began to appear in my cell and chat with me. People who had long since been dead. To stave off madness, I picked up the broken stub of my pen and began to write feverishly. I wrote a poem to the girl I had seen once when I was 14. And then I wrote about the last blade of grass I had seen. I wrote faster and faster until I was completely wrapped up in the joy of writing. Writing about all the things I could remember. Until I lost all track of time, of place, and then... Oh, no. No, it isn't time. I still have 20 days left. Oh, 20 days, he said.
Quiet, son. You still have 2 days to go.
What do you want?
To talk. Mind if I come in?
It's your prison. He didn't come all the way in, but stood in the door, out of sight, off the hall, but blocking my way. He was a very old man with mottled parchment skin. His prison coveralls hung on him like elephant skin. Oh, who are you?
I'm the night duty guard.
What do you want?
Oh, just to talk.
I've never seen you before.
Oh, but I've seen you. Every night I've been looking over your shoulder, reading the things you write.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. I haven't read any new poetry in 50 years, since the computers came in. You've got away with words.
Thank you, sir.
That's all right. There's one poem you wrote night before last. I wonder if I could see it again.
Which one, sir?
The one about a man's going to die and doesn't know why.
Oh. You mean this one?
Yes. Yes, that's the one. Would you mind reading it for me? My eyes tire easily.
Okay. In the monumental silence of a long and pointless strife, I'm pained at my reluctance to let go this last of life. I only asked the place and time enough to give some small meaning to the meaningless and point to having lived.
Yes, I like that. How would you like to get out of here?
Are you crazy?
No,
Nobody leaves here alive.
guards do.
But I'm not a guard.
You could be.
Oh, now I know you're crazy.
You could be if you put on my clothes, my uniform.
That wouldn't do any good. They'd still recognize me by the number on my forehead.
That's what gave me the idea. Look at your number and look at mine.
108, 808, 715.
Only the 8s are different. We could take that pen of yours and make your 3s look like 8s.
But you're an old man. I'm young. They'd recognize the difference immediately.
No, they wouldn't. The only one who sees me is the guard that relieves me, and he's unhappy, Gum. The only thing he looks at is my number. As long as that's right, he's happy. He couldn't tell you what I looked like if his life depended on it.
But why?
I don't know why. Maybe I just like poetry. Maybe it's because I'm going to die anyway. Look at me. I'm 110. Yesterday, I read where they're going to start eliminating everybody over 102. It'll probably be law before the year is out.
But that's still a year to live, maybe more.
A year of what? I can't smell any more. My taste buds are gone. My hands and feet are always cold.
That's not the real reason, is it?
No. No, it isn't.
Then what is?
I have a granddaughter about your age. Beautiful girl. She used to write and paint some when she was young. Of course, we had to discourage it after the computers came in. You know, it just would make me feel good to know they hadn't stamped out the genes for poetry completely. I hate to live in a world where you don't get anything more than what comes blasting in at you over the telecommunicator. Well, what do you say? Are you willing?
I'm willing, if you are.
Oh, good. Now, listen carefully.
He sat up most of the night, explaining his job to me, cross-questioning me to be sure I remembered it right. His job was simple, mostly just pushing buttons. The difficult part would be finding my way out of the huge prison without looking like I was groping and getting off the overhead rail at the right stop to find his daughter's home. Finally, when he was convinced I had it right, he left, promising to change places with me the following night. I was almost afraid to believe him. The hours of what was to be my final night on Earth crept by. The day had been bad enough, but the night was worse. 100 times I decided the night was over, that it had all just been a sadistic trick by the old man so he could watch the agony of my final hours on Earth to pass the time. I was just about to beat against the walls and scream when...
Quickly, help me out of these coveralls.
I thought you wouldn't come.
I had to wait till just before the end of the watch so you'd have the best chance of escaping.
How much time do I have left?
About 20 minutes. The day guard will be coming to relieve me soon, so hurry, will you? Where's your pen?
Here it is.
Hold your head still while I change these 3s to 8s.
All right.
Yeah. Remember, stay on the overhead rail until you get out of Arizona. My daughter is the next stop after that.
Okay.
There, you're finished. Goodbye.
I don't want to say...
Don't say anything. Say goodbye before I change my mind. At best, courage is a quicksilver thing.
Goodbye, old man. And thanks.
Quick, close the door.
I did as I was told, raising my hand to break the circuit. And I watched the old man smile at me at the control board and take up his position in front of it. The clock on the board said 10 minutes to 5 in the morning. 10 minutes before I would be released.
How's it going?
Huh?
I said, how's it going? Everything quiet?
Fine. I recognized him as the guard that was supposed to relieve the old man. For a minute, I was afraid he recognized me when his eyes drifted across my face. But then they flicked up to my forehead, checked my serial number, and he resumed his steady, quiet chewing.
I came in a little early. You can never tell about the overhead rail when it's going to get jammed up.
Yes, I know. Things are a mess. What's that?
Trouble in cell number 84. See the flashing light on the board?
Yes, I better turn it off. Cell 84. That was my cell. The one I just left. That meant the old man was probably banging on the walls.
I see cell 84 is scheduled for termination this morning. Probably lost his nerve. They should make them all stay under Sami gas while they're here. Makes them easier to handle that way.
I can't turn the alarm off.
Of course you can't, as long as he's hammering on the walls and screaming that way. You better go down, see what he wants.
Do I have to?
Of course you do. It's the law. He might have something more he wants to say.
I walked down the hall, feeling the guard's eyes on my back. I didn't dare argue with him anymore for fear that he would become concerned. It was all over now. I knew it was all over. I could see the old man beating on the walls of his cell beyond the transparent plastic wall, screaming soundlessly. He had changed his mind. He wanted to live. In a minute, he would be running down the hall, shouting for help. And in 2 hours, I would be dead. I raised my hand to break the electric circuit.
Oh, there you are. I was afraid you wouldn't come back. You took the poems with you, and I couldn't remember that one. All I can remember is I only ask the place. I can't remember how it ends.
I only ask the place and time enough to give some small meaning to the meaningless and point to having lived.
Yes. That's it. And point to having lived.
Suspense. You've been listening to 2462, starring Lawson Zerbe, and written especially for Suspense by George Bamber. Suspense is produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr., music supervision by Ethel Huber. Featured in tonight's story were Robert Randall as the lieutenant, Bob Dryden as the old guard, William Mason as the young guard, and Rosemary Rice as the court stenographer. Listen again next week when we return with Please Believe Me, written by Ben Kagan. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. They're the most. Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney, weekdays on the CBS Radio Network. And now, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Act One of Hide and Seek, starring Jackson Beck and William Redfield, and written especially for Suspense by Bob Corcoran. This first portion of Suspense is brought to you by the makers of Marlboro cigarettes.
Why don't you settle back and have a full-flavored smoke? Have a Marlboro. You get a lot to like with a Marlboro, the filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste. Try Marlboro.
The lost soul cry of a lake steamer fell into the sleeping Chicago street like a wet feather, sending out ripples of fear that washed against a dandy man who would soon die. A nerve kept jumping under his eye. His hands were sticky. He stared out the window, forcing himself to go through the routine he'd created. He'd stop at the all-night cigar store, no matter how late, and have his shoes shined so he could go home with a clean pair. It was one of the reasons they called him Dandy. But he wasn't enjoying it tonight, and never would again. He came off the shoe-shine chair like a dancer, moved to the door of the store. Nothing either way. A $50 glittered in the light and disappeared as the boy snapped it out of the air.
Thanks, kid. Thank you, Mrs. Angeles.
The street stretched ahead. Parked cars, empty. Some old newspaper blowing. Big city tumbleweed. Dandy caught his reflection in a store window and had to stop in spite of his nervousness and desire to get away. A practiced hand rolled the brim of his hat, and the Windsor knot of his tie got pushed to perfection.
Yeah.
No wonder they called him Dandy. Neat as a pin, even his fingernails. Dandy thought of that afternoon, and his mouth twisted in self-disgust as he cut across the street and hurried on, keeping near the curb and watching the shadows. A jerk play, like a luck-happy punk instead of a professional gambler. Just a few more blocks to go and nothing had happened. He felt a little easier, but he had to get 1,000 fast. Bigelow didn't like guys who played and then didn't make good on the sour ones. He had a long list of things he didn't like, and that was on top. Dandy knew that when he made the bet that afternoon.
You got it, though, ain't you, Dandy?
Yeah, sure, Ed. I just ain't got it on me.
If you pick a cruller, I want that money.
Sure, Ed.
I want it fast.
Hey, what am I, the thief of Baghdad? I always been good, ain't I?
Yeah, you always been good, Dandy. It's just we're friends. I don't want you should welch on me, that's all.
I ain't no Welsher.
I know a guy who wasn't no killer. Till he knocked off a guy.
I won't Welsh, Ed.
That's good. Because if you did, I'd lose a friend. And all your friends would lose a friend. Permanent.
Okay. Don't worry. It's a sure thing.
The horse finished 5th. Nowhere. But he'd get the money. Sure. Take maybe a week. Guys forget your name fast when you're broke. But nothing to worry about. His hotel awning invited him just ahead. Maybe he'd get out of town for a few days. Not that there was anything to be afraid of, just hedge his bet. Play it safe. He breezed into the hotel lobby. Thank God it was empty. Then the ripples of fear came back when he saw the scared-faced kid at the desk.
What's the matter, Herbie?
Well, there's a guy waiting for you. He's in your room. He belted me and took the key. Told me not to tell the cops or you nothing. But you always been nice to me.
It's all right, Herbie. It's all right. What's he look like?
Oh, he's a real big guy. Fat, but big.
Thanks, kid. I'll make it up to you later.
He fought to keep calm. No time to turn into a panic man. Stiff-armed the door and got into the street. His hand measured the few bills in his pocket, and he wondered how far they'd take him. Bigelow was closing in. Then a piece of shadow split away from the wall.
Hello, Dandy. The kid tell you about Bigelow's friend waiting for you inside?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But not about the one waiting outside, huh?
The man was tall and thin, skinny even. He looked as if they'd made his face, forgotten a mouth, and then torn one. Dandy tried to move around him.
Let's get my buddy, then we'll go see Ed. When I say move.
Dandy fought his fear as he watched the elevator arrow swing down. He was tall and fat. His eyes looked as if someone had tried to hide 2 grapes in some dirty grease.
You got him. Good. Yeah, he was taken off. This punk here must have told him you was in his room.
You do that, punk? Huh? Don't matter, we got him. You're gonna keep your mouth shut about this, ain't you?
Please. Leave him alone.
Shut up, dandy man. I won't save you for Bigelow. Kid, you say anything, this is just a sample of what you'll get. Let's go.
Where are we going?
Ed Bigelow wants to talk to you.
What's Ed want with me?
Did you hear that, Earl?
A conical tin shade hung over the desk. Everything had a coating of dirt, as if Bigelow had had the place sprayed with it. Dandy was very careful not to touch or rub up against anything.
Nice to see you, Dandy. It's always nice to see you. Always so sharp. The dandy man. Suit must have cost you plenty. Me, I'm just a slob. No $200 suits for me. A ready-made from Joe the tailor in Madison. Just a slob. But I'd pay my debts. Where's my money, Danny?
Well, you see, Ed,
No conversation. I can get that any time with the boys here.
but I want to tell you...
You got the 1,000? Yes or no?
Oh, now listen, Ed.
Answer like he says.
We don't like to be rough, Dandy. We're friends. What's the answer?
No, I ain't got it.
Ah.
I can get it for you, Ed. I ain't no Welsher. I mean, ask anyone in town.
You told me you had it.
I figured wrong.
How come you figured wrong?
I didn't know how far I'd gone. I laid out a lot of bets.
The whole roll, huh? Kiss in the dark. You too can be a winner.
Anybody can play.
And you did it on my market, Dandy.
Oh, not all of it.
1,000 of it. I don't like to be played for no chump. I don't like you should be gambling with my money.
Just, give me a week. 7 days. 6. 5 even. Tomorrow I'll have it.
Chicago's hard in reputations, Dandy. One guy does it to me, and maybe some others think I'm losing my grip. It'd be bad if word got around somebody played me for a patsy. Ain't that right, fellas?
Yeah, like you say.
I shouldn't have spread the bets so thin. Should have kept out a little. Enough to pay off Ed Bigelow.
I'll get it, I tell you.
Point is, you should have had it. Like you said.
Oh, Ed, what's 1,000 to you? You got...
Ain't no use, Dandy. Like they say down at the courthouse, you gotta be made an example of.
You wouldn't kill me.
I don't want to be hard. I'll tell you what. I'll leave it up to the boys.
Plant them.
Take the bloom off the dandy man.
Get him out of here.
I'll take that watch, Dandy. You won't be needing it.
I'll match you for it.
Sure, I ain't greedy.
We're, going out to the forest preserve, huh? A nice drive into the country.
Oh, it's peaceful out there. You'll get a nice rest.
You're caught.
A joker.
Yeah, we go down Clark Street, see? To North Avenue and then west to the country. We park a little, and we come back. Me and Lloyd, that is.
Out North Avenue, right through the old neighborhood. His mind raced ahead. Forgotten details of dirt and squalor struggled forward from the shadows where he'd pushed them. The streets, the alleys. Then it hit him. The police station on Blackhawk. If he could get out of the car, run to the station. He'd have to make the break when the car was moving, time it just right. There was only one street that cut into North Avenue that'd do him any good, Sedgwick. Then halfway down the block, into the alley, and through the vacant lot at the end. The car couldn't follow. Then a half block more to the police station, and he'd be safe. And then suddenly he saw the battered old black on yellow sign as the car entered the intersection. Sedgwick. Dandy hit the door, then the street, bent over, running, sprawling into a tin newsstand. Then he was on his feet, running. The car wrenched around like a giant crab and then leaped down the street. They didn't shoot. Dandy's hand hooked a no parking sign as he swung into the alley without slowing. Then he knew something was wrong. He looked up and saw. There was a building at the end of the alley where the vacant lot had been. He whirled around. The warehouse stretched back to the street on one side. The other had store backs. Solid, no fences. The backbone of the elevated track cut over the end of the alley. A dirty bulb burned on the warehouse fire escape that crawled up the side of the building like a steel vine. Dead, just out of reach. He pivoted and ran back to the back of the alley. Softly. Hide and seek. Now, he'd played it here before. It was a restaurant that blocked the alley. As he moved in among the garbage cans, his nose wrinkled. 2 shadows moved along the warehouse wall, bottling him up. There were 4 garbage cans, then a space, then some more. The shadow was deepest right behind them. Dandy knelt down, then slid out flat. His soft, manicured hands quivered from what he felt under them. He tried to hold his breath.
Let's get him.
Nah. He might be any place in there.
Well, you could stay here and I could look.
No, he's too fast. I don't want to shoot at a distance. Bigelow's paying us to be sure. I want to put the gun right in the middle of that suit and burn it. If you go for him now, there'd be too much noise.
Well, maybe an elevator comes along and covers the noise.
Still a chance. Danny ain't worth it.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, there was a drugstore back where he jumped out. Call Frank. Tell him to bring another guy. And I'll be quiet and sure. We can go on out to the country like Bigelow wants it.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute. You want to come out now? It'll be easier. If we gotta go to a lot of trouble, it's gonna make us mad.
The skinny man took a drag on his cigarette, and Dandy could see it wink and then glow bright red. A long finger flipped it in a gentle arc over the cans into the deep shadows. It hissed and went out as it hit the muck.
We'll use them on you, Dandy. We'll cook you a little at a time.
You lousy. Stall. Pray for a break.
Why don't you play it smart, Dandy? Take off. If he tries to go past me, the shots won't make no difference. I'll pick you up in the corner heading north.
Okay.
Then get some cigarettes. We want to have plenty.
And Dandy remembered. He'd get out after all. The 100-to-1 shot suddenly turned into a boat race. He remembered when he was a kid. The cops would come along on their way to the station. Sure, that wouldn't be changed. It was routine. Cops never change routine. They get fat on it. When the cops came, he'd holler. And they'd get the 2 who'd been pushing him around.
Go ahead. Wait. Fat man.
I'll be right over. I got the cigarettes and matches. Lots of matches.
Still playing hard to get.
He's gonna wish he hadn't.
Dandy grinned as he thought of the cops, and then suddenly realized how much his back ached from holding his head out of the slop and tin cans. He thought of his suit and his shirt and his hand-painted silk tie, and what his friends would say if they could see Dandy DeAngelis laid out in this sewer. The smell flooded in on him, and he gritted his teeth. He didn't want to lie in that, too. It was the first time he'd ever wished he was unelevated. But the cops would be here any second. He didn't know what made him turn his head. He just lifted his cheek off his hand and swiveled his head around.
Oh.
The skin went tight all over his body, and he almost screamed and jumped up, but instead, he froze and stared. Just 2 feet away, its head just emerging into the light, was an enormous rat. He hated them. Worse than anything, he hated them. When he was a kid, he'd always been afraid of them. They were the old tenement, the dank hallways and crowded rooms, the dirty smells that got into your skin and stayed there. He'd been bitten as a boy and never gotten over it.
Oh, what am I gonna do?
He thought he'd left all that behind him, but he hadn't. Dandy DeAngelis, the dandy man, lying in filth, staring at a rat. And if he made a sound, they'd move in on him. And then the matches and cigarettes and gun in the stomach.
Easy, dandy boy. Easy.
If it meant his life, he'd stay there with a rat. Sure.
What can I do? What can I do?
It moved a few inches into the light, hugging the garbage can on the other side of the open space. It was a foot long and heavy. He remembered when he was a kid and they'd kill one. The filth and the fleas. That had been bad enough. But then, rats were dirty shadows that hugged the wall and ran. This one was on the same level with him, hugging the same wall. He'd come down a long way.
Anytime you're ready, Dandy.
I guess he likes laying in that mess.
There was a little breeze, and he saw the fur on its back move. He felt sick again. It hunched itself around. Dandy started back in spite of himself, in spite of the men waiting for him to make a sound. It didn't run at his slight motion. Dandy held his breath. He was so close to it, he could even see the rings on its tail. It moved again, and this time faced right at him. The beady eyes seemed to stare right into his own. The thin-skinned ears stood upright and straight, and Dandy could see the fleas crawling. It lifted its head, and Dandy saw the teeth that never stopped growing but get worn down and sharpened all the time. The spot on his hand where he'd been bitten as a kid started to burn.
Get away. Get away.
Dandy tried to move back. He was afraid to scare it for fear it would scuttle off over the cans and bottles and attract the two waiting to kill him. He reached out to the side and back, and his right hand closed on a milk bottle. He gripped the neck and slowly, watching the rat, brought the bottle up beside his head, his arm cocked. He stayed there, trying not to jump up and run away from it, trying to wait for... He hadn't been watching.
What's keeping those guys? They say they'll be right over.
Take it easy. You're getting anxious to get your hands on a punk, huh?
I get it over with.
Dandy realized with relief that he'd have heard the cops if they'd gone by. They were always loud, but they'd better hurry. He swung his head slowly back to the rat. As he did, his skin crawled. If there was one rat, there were always more. He looked to the side, dreading what he would see. But there was nothing. It moved toward him. He stopped breathing and waited, and hunched there, watching him. Maybe it thought he was dead. He'd heard about dead people and rats. Maybe it wanted the warmth. It crouched there, evil, foul, staring at him.
No. No.
Dandy forgot the men in the alley, the burning cigarettes, and the gun held close to his belly. He forgot the cops who were going to come any minute if he'd just lie quietly as he was. All he could think of was that he was Dandy DeAngelis, lying there in front of a rat. The old neighborhood was still there, waiting for him all these years. He hadn't gotten away after all.
No!
But he would get away. He swung the bottle, invisible in its speed, swung it with all his might.
No!
Swung it with all the disgust and loathing and hatred that he felt. It didn't break. It hit something soft. He beat it and beat it and beat it and beat it. He didn't hear them as they moved over to him, their guns at his head.
Finished. Finished. Free.
Dandy stopped and stood up. He looked down at it as it lay in the light between the cans. It wouldn't bother him anymore. The old neighborhood and the dirt and the smells sank back, away. He dropped the bottle. He tried to wipe his hand.
Look at that. Dandy killed a rat.
Yeah. Now it's our turn.
Suspense. You've been listening to Hide and Seek, starring Jackson Beck and William Redfield, and written especially for Suspense by Bob Corcoran. In a moment, a word about next week's story of Suspense. All of us see the product that comes out of Hollywood. What people like to know, though, is what goes on in Hollywood. The amusing anecdotes, the joys, the heartbreaks, life in this so untypical town. These and many other intriguing subjects provide Ralph Story's weekday Dimension Reports in Hollywood. Listening to this CBS Radio Network feature will bring you information and entertainment of Filmland. Your next date with Ralph Story in Hollywood tomorrow. Another CBS Radio Network Dimension feature is A Woman's World with Betty Furness. 3 times each day, we send Betty your way. Suspense is produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Sound patterns by Joseph Cabibbo and Don Creed. Featured in tonight's story, Santos Ortega as Bigelow, Larry Haynes as Lloyd, Joseph Julian as Earl, and Jack Grimes as Herbie. Listen again next week when we return with Dagger of the Mind, written by John Robert. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Phil Rizzuto's Sports Time scores with the fans Monday through Saturday on the CBS Radio Network.
And now, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Act One of the Lunatic Hour, starring George Matthews, and written especially for Suspense by John Robert.
It's no good for a man to outlive his guilt. No good. Who knows better than me? Tom Morley. Crazy old Tom, they call me. Coyote. There's more of them critters out on our prairie here than there is people in San Ventura. San Ventura, population 638. Trains stop in San Ventura only when we signal them. When I signal them. I'm station master here. This time each year, I'm ordered by trains. By one in particular. Yes, crazy Tom Morley's haunted, all right. Because that's what grief and guilt will do to a man. In fact, when I see a devil risen before me now, hear him talking to me.
So I'm a conjuration, am I? Answer me, Tom.
You are only that. I imagine you.
And my voice?
I'm only hearing myself.
You're in bad shape, Tom. Put out your foot.
My foot?
So I can give you proof that you see what you see.
With all my weight. Ow, 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 my foot!
Ow. Am I as real to you as the ache in your foot?
I can't stand anymore.
We've things to recall together, Tom Morley.
What things?
Things like you murdering me. Have you forgotten the old 1155?
How could I ever forget it?
Then say my name. Say it!
Gully Reeves, engineer of the 1155. You see, I do remember.
The rail was split at Jericho Bend, but you didn't signal me to stop.
No. They found Gully Reeves in a hollow of Jericho Bend, with his hand on the throttle still.
Still engineer the train, dead as I was.
The van fell into the hollow. The other cars stood hard on the tracks, and every life spared. It was bad, Gully Reeves, but not as bad as it could have been.
It was a lucky night for others, but a black night for me. I died when no man should.
When no man should, Gully?
On the eve of the day I was to marry.
Oh, Jenny.
Yes, Jenny. A man can't offer his corpse in marriage. You cost me more than life that black night, Tom.
What payment are you here to take from me?
Live through this week and see, old man. Then you'll know your punishment.
devil's apparition can crush your foot. Gully Reeves, whose death was on my hands. Gully Reeves had come back from the earth, and I had his promise now. By the end of the week, he'd square accounts with me. I'd know my punishment. I had the devil's own promise for that. Live through the week and see. Huh? Pop, open up. It was Will, my stepson, bringing me coffee like every night.
Why the locked door, Pop?
Against prowlers.
Here? That's a joke. You know, the only prowlers around here are stray dogs and coyotes. Well, there's some coffee for you. Oh, I'm going home to bed now.
Will, wait. Help me off with my shoe. The left shoe.
Oh. Well, the foot's swelled up again.
Go easy. I have the devil's own pain in my toes.
Okay. Wow, it certainly is swollen. Pop, take your sock off and let's see. That foot didn't only puff up.
No?
The toes are blue. Pop, that big one looks crushed. A crate fall on it?
It wasn't a crate.
Well, what was it?
It was Gully Reeves.
Gully Reeves?
He spoke to me.
He spoke to you and invited you out of your mind.
Well, son, I'll swear. I saw him like I see you.
Don't call me son. Not when you act and talk like an old fool.
I murdered him, he said, at a time when no man should die.
Pop.
He had a girl. Jenny promised to him.
Pop? There's a telegraph message coming in. Well, Pop, if you're up to it...
Take it for me, Will, huh?
Okay. It says the 11:55's due by... in 1 minute now.
It's right on time.
Yeah, it's on the button. Oh, wait a minute. Pop, move over.
Huh?
Make room in the dark for a relative.
Make room?
There's more to the message. The last half says, I'll be riding the van again. Signed, Gully Reeves.
The 11:55. Gully rode the 11:55 that night.
Shut up, Pop.
They found him in a holler, sealed in his wrecked van, with his hand dead on the throttle.
Pop, shut up! Shut up! There. It's gone. You know something, Pop?
Yes, Will.
You're like something contagious. Stick close to you nights and I'll be just as crazy as you.
Sorry, son.
Just then, with the 11:55 clearing the station, you know what crazy thought flashed through my mind? This is the anniversary week of the wreck of the old 11:55. It would really be one for the books if the ghost of Gully Reeves rode the 11:55 into another wreck. How about that, Pop?
I had the same thought. It was impossible to sleep that night. I took myself to the San Ventura Cemetery. I held my lantern over a headstone. Here lies Gully Reeves. Only Gully Reeves wasn't lying there. He was risen from the dead. There was every sign that he was risen from the dead. An open grave and an open coffin lid. I could see by the shine of my lantern. Gully wasn't in his coffin. And then I could hear his ghost laughing.
You came to see with your own eyes whether I was in my coffin or not. That's smart of you, Tom.
Gully?
On the path. Plain in the light of your lantern. See me?
Yes.
Live through the week and see. And since you're here to visit the dead, why not take yourself over to Jenny?
To Jenny?
5 graves from mine. Count 5 graves from here. Go on. Ask Jenny to tell you how she died.
Graves from gullies and stood there with my mind in the dark and my eyes to the ground. An open grave, this one too, but the lid of the coffin was closed. Closed but opening before my eyes. I watched a specter in white rise up.
Tom Morley? Are you Tom Morley?
I am.
Gully sent you to me?
Yes, to ask how you died. He said, how did you die?
In my wedding gown. I was fitting it to wear for Gully when the news came that night.
It was a tragic hour. A black, tragic hour.
See my gown, Tom?
Your gown?
My bridal gown. I wore it to my grave for Gully to admire. Isn't it beautiful?
First Gully, then the girl. Jenny herself back from the grave. My neglect buried Jenny. I sent her to doom instead of her wedding, in a gown she was proud of, even in death. And Gully, well, he kept his promises. I knew he'd do. Rode the 11:55 for the anniversary week. And always with a message for me at 11:54, just 1 minute before.
I'll ride the van of the 11:55, Tom Morley. Look to the rail at Jericho Bend. Look to the rail.
Look to the rail. Gully meant to ride the 11:55 to his death again.
Stop the train! Stop! Stop the train!
Operator, this is Tom Morley, station master at San Ventura. Operator, a terrible thing. The 11:55. Operator. Operator. Will?
What's got you going now?
Will, you telephone for me. I can't make myself understood.
Okay, give me the phone. What am I to say?
Say? Outside, what you saw. The 11:55 wrecked.
Oh, come off it, Pop. Now, who'd be interested in hearing that?
Who'd be interested? Will, do you know what you're saying?
Pop, you're a maniac. You worked hard at becoming one, and you finally made it. What's all this malarkey about the 11:55?
Why, it's a wreck.
Gully Reeves, a ghost engineer on a ghost train. Sure, Pop, sure. Look, the wall clock's behind you. You see what time it says?
11:54. It's only 11:54.
Right. Here's the 11:55 now. Right on time. Your 11:55, Pop. Crashed in your head.
A saner mind than mine. I needed a saner mind than mine to take me in hand, to show me what was real and what was imagined. Mr. McHale, the town supervisor. I pleaded with him, and he came back to San Ventura Cemetery.
This hallucination, Tom. The engineer, Gully Reeves, risen from the grave, and the late Jenny Ives standing up in her coffin. How long has all that been bothering you?
10 years, Mr. McHale. Since the day Gully was killed.
And the spirit visitations?
Oh, only these few nights this week, this anniversary week.
Anniversary?
The wreck was 10 years ago this week.
Oh, I see. Which of the two graves?
Over here is Gully Reeves. This grave.
This grave?
It says Gully Reeves on the gravestone. I'll hold the lantern to it. Do we see different things, Mr. McHale?
Well, I see an open grave. An open grave and an open coffin.
Jenny is 5 graves from this, Mr. McHale. Count 5 graves.
5. I've counted 5.
I'm an old man and I've lost my reason. But not you, Mr. McHale. You're the slickest mind in San Ventura. The town supervisor. Hallucinations, yes, I'm sick with them. Sick with grief and guilt. But not you. Tell me we see different things.
Maybe not, Tom. Maybe we see the same things.
This grave now, Mr. McHale, it's right and proper. Like a grave must be, so a soul can rest.
No, Tom, I can't say that it is.
You can't? What do you see?
Look, the grave is unnatural as the first.
And you have hallucinations, too.
The grave is open and the coffin empty, like the first.
Tom Morley! Tom Morley!
Is it Jenny calling to you, Tom?
You hear it, too?
Yes.
I stood in my bridal gown and didn't move. My heart swelled up and then it stopped. I stopped it so I could be with Gully Reeves. It was a bad time to die. Such a bad time when living could be so good.
Mr. McHale.
Yes, Tom.
You heard what she said.
Every word. Every uncanny word.
And did you also see her?
Yes. Like a white mist.
And long flowing hair.
And no flesh that I could see. I do have your hallucinations, Tom.
I'm distressed to hear that. You the best mind in San Ventura.
I say only what I saw. What was it that Gully promised you?
Another wreck of the 1155. Gully would once more ride the van into the hollow of Jericho Bend. In the morning, Mr. McHale put his hallucinations to rest. McHale was such a man. Things had to make sense to him.
I ordered an arrest, Tom. The arrest of your stepson, Will.
You arrested Will?
I'm sure he's behind this and others in with him. Looting graves and dressing up to masquerade as ghosts.
Why would Will go against me?
To drive you into the madhouse. Even to drive you to your death.
I can't believe it.
I know, it's a great shock to you, but the boy hates you, Tom.
Why does he?
Well, unbalanced as you've been these 10 years, an unsteady, brooding man, Will's mother died to shut her eyes to you, Tom. She couldn't stand any more of a life with you. The boy thinks this.
You're saying that Will blames me for Margaret? For his mother's passing?
Yes, and there's your house and land. With you gone, it'll pass to him. There's a profit in hate for Will. I've reasoned it out. Now, let's see what the ghosts will do.
There was a message that night, that last anniversary night. 10 years to the day of the old wreck. It said, look to the rail at Jericho Bend. This time I would. There would be no negligence this time. I saw what I hadn't seen 10 years before. The rails were split. Once again, the rails were split. Stop the train. I had to stop the train. This time I knew to stop the train. My signal lantern. I waved it high in the air so Gully could see it. High, high. Stop! Stop in the name of mercy! I'd won this time. I'd stopped the train. I'd won. I awoke from a long sleep in the outdoors with someone standing over me. Mr. McHale?
Yes, it's me.
Did I faint?
Died, I thought, these last 10 minutes, Tom. Hardly a pulse to you, hardly a breath. Like your heart had stopped.
Stopped? The 11:55, Mr. McHale. The 11:55.
11:55 came and went.
Came and went?
You signaled it to stop, and it stopped. It's gone now. The train can't wait on an hallucinating old man.
But the rail at Jericho Bend, it was split. I saw that with my own eyes.
The train took the bend with nothing wrong.
But I saw it. Come, I'll show you. Here at the bend. Come see.
Well, I'm here, Tom, waiting to be shown.
Oh, the rail is fine now. What I saw, I didn't see.
Except in your mind.
Yes, in my mind. And what I see now, only I see.
No? Now what?
Even now, I see things the devil directs me to see. I see things invisible to you.
What do you think you see now?
In the ground there in the hollow, if you have eyes for the dark, Mr. McHale, I see a body, a lonely body in the night. But you don't see the dead, Mr. McHale. It's only for me to see.
No. We see the same things again, Tom.
A dead man? You see a dead man, too?
A dead man, yes.
Gully Reeves, dead where he died before.
No, Tom, not Gully. We've a strange corpse in this one. A man who died tonight.
Tonight?
Blood soaked in his clothes and in the dirt. See? And still bleeding. The old dead don't bleed, Tom. And the old dead don't wear police handcuffs.
Police handcuffs, you say?
See, on his wrists. And a bullet hole in his head. See? This one was shot to death. I'll telephone the coroner to come for the murdered man. Oh, operator.
Mr. McHale, wait. Wait with the telephone. It's Gully on the wireless again.
Oh, Gully, is it? Let's not go through that again. I'll take the message, Tom.
What is the message, Mr. McHale?
An awakening. I'm beginning to understand things. And I owe your stepson Will an apology.
An apology to Will?
Yes, the looting of the graves and all that dressing up to make you see ghosts. It wasn't Will's doing, his scheme against you, as I'd reasoned. Will had nothing to do with it. I was wrong there, dead wrong.
The message told you that?
No, but I know that now. I put it all together. It was a message from a detective who was on the 11:55 tonight. He lost a prisoner he was escorting to the state penitentiary. Chip Stavago, a convicted man. The message says we're to look for a short man, bald, wearing a dark suit, and handcuffs.
Handcuffs? That's the murdered man out there.
Now listen carefully, Tom. This pair, Floyd Maxson and his girl Sally, they had worked up a scheme to board the 11:55 and seize a prisoner being taken to the state pen. One Chip Stavago. They were out to seize Stavago from under the nose of the detective accompanying him. Seize Stavago and murder him. Which they did. Now, is it clear so far?
Clear.
All right. San Ventura was the place they picked to stop the 11:55, climb aboard, and snatch Stavago. You were to stop the train for them, Tom. That's how your hallucinations came about. Now, the killers, Maxson and his girl Sally, were the source of your hallucinations. Now, they obviously knew about you. How you felt about that wreck of 10 years ago, how it preyed on your mind, your sense of personal guilt about it. How they worked on you all this anniversary week when you were most susceptible. They played on your imagination, made you hear voices, see ghosts, all to get you to stop that train tonight.
Mr. McHale.
Yes, Tom?
That story you were telling me about people scheming against my sanity, I'm asking you to tell it to me again.
Sure, but not tonight, Tom. Your mind's been burdened enough for one night. Tomorrow, when the anniversary week is over and Gully Reeves isn't in your thoughts. Tomorrow, Tom, we'll go over the whole thing again tomorrow. Suspense. You've been listening to the Lunatic Hour, starring George Matthews. and written especially for Suspense by John Robert. Suspense is produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Heard in tonight's story were Les Damon, Donald Buca, Rosemary Rice, and Dick Keith. Listen again next week when we bring you With Murder in Mind, written by Erwin Lewis. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. And now, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Act One of The Silver Shoe, written especially for Suspense by Robert Reddick.
Take for granted. I mean, you don't question them. Like if somebody died, you've been to the funeral and watched them lower the coffin into the grave. You just got to say to yourself, well, that's the way it is. It's all over. Maybe if you care a lot for somebody like I did for Corey, maybe they go on living in a way in your mind. Not really living, but kind of living in your thoughts or your memory or your dreams. But that's all. So when I saw this girl sitting in a drugstore 2 years after Corey's funeral, well, naturally I had to figure she was somebody who just happened to look a lot like her. I mean, wouldn't you? I wouldn't have been shocked if she'd just been sitting there at the counter drinking her coffee. But she was doing something that, well, I guess I'd seen Corey do 100 times. She was holding a spoon, upside down, dabbing little strokes with it on her napkin, like it was a paintbrush, drawing imaginary little pictures on it. And when she spoke to the counter man, it was with Corey's own sweet, familiar voice.
Will you let me have a check, please?
Sure. What'd you have?
Egg salad sandwich and coffee.
Okay, 50 cents, beautiful.
I guess I must have looked pretty strange standing there, staring at her, but I couldn't help myself.
You want something, buddy?
Huh? Oh, yeah, a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee coming up.
I couldn't take my eyes off her. I watched her pay the check, watched every movement she made, every step she took as she walked out of the door. And they were Corey's movements, Corey's steps, every one of them.
Kind of cute, huh?
What?
Nice-looking chick.
Does she come in here a lot?
Yeah, once in a while. She's one of the dames who works down the street at the dance hall. Here's your coffee.
Thanks, I don't want it. Here's your dime.
Huh? Oh, sure, Tiger.
I followed her. I had to. A few doors away, there was an entrance lit up with a lot of neon and stuff saying it was a dance hall, and I saw her walk into it. I felt kind of funny about following her, but well, somehow I couldn't do anything else. Inside, there was this sort of pink ceiling over a long flight of stone steps leading down into the dance hall. Well, I bought a ticket at a little booth at the bottom, and then I went into this big room where the music was playing. I didn't see her anywhere, but a bunch of other girls came running up to the railing and started calling out to me.
Come here, sailor. I want to talk to you. You got a cigarette, sailor?
Sure.
You always get the pretty one. What made you pick me, honey? May I ask you, sailor? What made you pick me?
Well,
I can't see very well to smoke this when it isn't lit. How about you dig down in your bell bottoms, honey, and bring a lady up a match?
I keep them up here in my breast pocket.
Well, good for you. Do you notice the sign over the entrance, honey? 50 girls, 50 gorgeous, exotic dancing partners. Well, of course, even when this joint is jumping, there's only 22 of us. But I mean the other part. Do you think I'm gorgeous and exotic, honey? Is that why you picked me?
Well, I don't think I know what you mean.
You know what gorgeous means, don't you?
Oh, sure.
Well, exotic means weird, honey. Strange. Come on, baby. Buy me some tickets. And while you're out there on the floor holding me tight in your arms, you can tell me how exotic I am.
Oh, well, I really came in here looking for somebody else. She's about 5'3" and has light brown hair and blue eyes.
Just like half the girls in America. Besides, if you don't see her, she ain't here. Who told you she worked here anyway?
Here, this picture in my wallet. She looks like this girl.
No, somebody's kidding you. We ain't got nobody here looks like that.
Oh, but I saw her come in here.
Look, I ought to know. I've been working here for 4 years. I tell you, we got no girl like that. No, why don't you just forget her and concentrate on me? Anything the matter with me?
Oh, no. No, it's just...
You bet there ain't. Now, don't you run away, sailor. I'm going in and powder my nose. Don't let any of these other dames latch onto you. And when I come back, I'll show you the way a patriotic lady treats the Navy.
She walked away. I began to figure maybe I was mistaken after all about seeing Corey or this girl coming in here, that maybe I'd lost her on the street, that it was somebody else I'd seen in the neon light. And I was just about to leave when I saw her again, sitting alone at a table in a half-darkened corner clear across the room. She was dressed different now in a sort of spangly silver gown that left her shoulders bare. She looked just like Corey did the night I took her to the McKendrick's ball. In a sort of a daze, I walked across the dance floor and over to the table where she was sitting. I guess she was thinking about something, because she didn't look up until I was just about standing next to her. Hi.
Hi, yourself.
I saw you upstairs at the drugstore.
Did you?
Yeah. She had a strange expression on her face. Kind of like I figured mine must have looked. Sort of surprised. And, like she couldn't quite believe what she was seeing.
You know something? When I first looked up just now, it was almost like I knew you from somewhere.
Yeah.
Knew you real well. You seemed to remind me of someone. I can't remember who. Gives me a funny feeling, you know what I mean?
She told me to buy her some dance tickets at the little booth. Well, I did. Then I came back and I sat down with her at her table. I told her of how she reminded me so much of someone, too. I've got a photograph of her. I'll show it to you. There. That's Corey. Well, doesn't she look...
Yeah, she does.
I'm sorry about following you down here from the drugstore, but...
Oh, that's all right, Joey. You don't have to apologize. I understand.
How did you know my name?
What?
You called me by my name. How did...
Oh, is your name Joey?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, that's just a habit of mine. I call all sailors Joey till I get to know them a little.
How come?
Oh, I don't know. Just like that. Look, let's dance, huh?
Well, I don't dance very well.
Oh, that's all right, Joey. Just hold me.
And then she took my hand in the same sweet, special way that Corey had 100 times, 1,000 times before. Gently, tenderly, with her fingers lightly laced in mine. I remembered that day more than 2 years ago when I was standing, leaning against the outside wall of my house. My eyes were closed because the sun was bright, and my head was back because it was nice and warm on my neck. And while I was standing there, like that, Corey came over and quietly stood beside me that way, the same way, with her head back and all. And she gently took my hand and laced her fingers in mine. And she said, so softly that I almost couldn't hear her,
It must be lovely on the beach.
and I thought to myself, yeah, or on the dunes. And just as if she could read my mind, she said,
Or on the dune.
and the next thing I remember, I was lying on a blanket in a hollow with sand knolls all around, and the sun was blazing hot, nice though. And Corey turned over on the blanket, put her face next to mine, and she said,
I love you, Joey. And when we're old enough, I want to marry you and have 3 children and live in a nice little house and have many friends and books to read and records on the phonograph. And I want to die with you in my arms.
and then she cried. I suddenly realized that I was holding this other girl in my arms, that we were dancing.
Where did you learn that step?
What?
The one you just did.
Well, I don't know. Just kind of like it.
Well, you said you couldn't dance.
Well, not very well, usually.
Seems to me we dance just fine together. Comfortable and easy. Like 2 people have...
Danced together a lot?
Yeah. You're not 21, are you?
No, 20.
Oh, you're supposed to be 21 to come in here.
Oh.
Oh, well, we won't tell them, will we? Truth is, I'm only 20 myself, but they don't know that.
Oh, is that right?
Uh-huh.
See, that's just the age Corey... I'm sorry. I just can't help it.
Oh, of course you can.
You're so much like her.
Oh, it's all right, Joey. I understand. But, you know, all the time we've been dancing, I've been lost in memories, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, but mine are funny and they're vague. I keep getting a certain picture in my mind that makes no sense.
What do you mean?
But I see myself with a boy, the one you remind me of, in a park.
Yeah?
It's very quiet, and the full moon lights up his face. But I can't figure out who he is. The picture's clear. We're standing together looking up at a statue. The strange thing is I don't seem to remember anything like that ever happening to me. I guess it did, but I just can't seem to remember.
But I could remember it. I could remember it very well. It was 2 years ago. And I was walking in Heatherton Park with Corey. There was a bright moon. Nobody else was there. Nobody in the whole park. And she stopped before the statue of Daniel Porter, who it said contributed more to the development of something or other than any other man in the state. She looked up at it as if she were going to mention something about it. She said,
Dr. King said I'm not well.
And I could tell from the way she said it that it was serious. We walked through the park without saying another word. And the next day she went away to the sanitarium. And 3 months later she was dead.
Joey, what is it? What's wrong?
She was asking me what was wrong. It was impossible to tell her. I was frightened. I tried to tell myself that there were other parts, other statues, other moonlit nights, but somehow I knew.
Joey, you look pale. What's the matter with you?
Could we go back and sit down?
Sure, come on. Don't you feel well?
I'll be all right. That park you pictured in your mind, that statue?
Yeah?
You were standing with some fella looking up at a statue. Where was the moon? Low? Just over his shoulder?
What?
Was the moon sort of low in the sky like it was sitting there right over the shoulder of the statue?
Yeah? It was.
Yeah.
How could you know that?
And were you holding his hand?
Yeah.
With your fingers locked in his like... And then suddenly I saw it. Cupped in her open palm. A small silver medallion that I'd made for Corey 3 years before. I cast it myself with a makeshift crucible and molds. She used to wear it on a chain. What is that? Where did you get that?
What?
That thing in your hand. Let me see it. Give it to me.
Joey, what are you...
Give it to me. I launched across the table, grabbed it from her, but my hand struck against hers and she dropped it. Where is it?
What is it?
Where did it fall?
Joey.
Too dark. I can't find it.
Oh, Joey.
Where did it go? Light! Give me some light!
Joey.
How did you get that medallion? How did you get it?
Medallion, I had a coin in my hand. What are you talking about?
That was no coin. Don't you think I can see?
What's the matter? This guy drunk?
No.
Will you turn some lights on?
Now, listen,
Mr.
Phil.
Bailey, it's all right.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, Muriel, but you better take it easy, sailor. We don't want no trouble here.
Oh, Joey, you don't know this place. You make any trouble and they'll...
What is this all about? What are you trying to do to me?
You listen to me for a minute.
What are you lying to me for? I saw it. I saw it in your hand.
Look, Joey, I mean it. You make any trouble or anything and they'll call the shore patrol. They will. Now, look, let's get out of here, okay? I'll turn in my tickets and change my clothes. We're not supposed to take dates out of here, so you go on up to that drugstore and wait for me. I'll meet you in a few minutes. After you're gone, I'll find it. I'll find what you're looking for.
So I went up to the drugstore and waited. I waited 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I waited half an hour. And I went into the phone booth and I called the dance hall.
Hello, Silver Shoe.
This is the sailor who was in there a little while ago.
So, what do you want?
I'd like to talk to that girl I was dancing with. You know the one I mean.
Girls can't come to the phone.
Why not?
Because they're working, that's why not.
This girl I was with, she...
Telling you they're all busy. Now get lost, will you?
Now, you listen to me, mister. I want you to put that girl on the phone and...
Now, look, sailor. Don't stick your head in a pail someplace
away. No, he won't. Get to the bottom of this. Last thing I see. Let me off the phone. I found her, and I'm not going to lose her. Find that guy. It's not going to make me fool out of me. There he is.
Hello, you back again?
Where is she?
Taking my advice, sailor.
Where is she?
What's the matter with you?
Is she still here?
Look, what are you making a stink for?
She said she'd meet me.
Who did?
This girl.
Which girl? What's her name?
It was... I don't know. She didn't tell me her name.
So the fuss of that sailor?
This the one?
No.
Look, you see this guy in here?
Sure.
Who's he dancing with?
He wasn't dancing with nobody.
What?
I gave him a pinch, but he just walked over, sat down by himself at the back table in the corner. He just sat there staring at the tablecloth for about half an hour. Then he walked out.
What are you?
You remember me, don't you, honey? You gave me a cigarette.
So what do you tell me you were dancing with somebody for?
What's the matter with you? You came over to our table. Remember, I was looking for something.
You're looking for something, all right. In just about a minute, you're going to get it. Now, pack up. You hear me?
Now, here. You see this?
It's a picture of some dame. He showed it to me. He keeps saying she works here. I think he's cracked or something.
You got the wrong place. She don't work here. Let's go.
I'm telling you, I was sitting with her, dancing with her. Where are you? Are you down here? Where are you?
You're really asking for it, boy. You know that, don't you?
Get your hands off me. I said get your hands off me.
Okay, buddy. That's just about enough on
you. I came to the next morning in sickbay on the ship. I couldn't do anything but lay there and think about this girl. I told the ship's doctor about it.
You've been under a great strain lately, Joey. I'm going to recommend that your duties be suspended for a few days at least.
You want me to stay here?
Yes.
In sickbay?
That's right.
What do you think, I'm crazy or something? You want to keep an eye on me?
I said you've been under a strain, that's all. I don't think you've ever really gotten over the shock of Corey's passing away. You've been thinking a lot about her lately, haven't you? I mean, in these last weeks, before you even saw this other girl in the drugstore.
Yes, I have.
Well, isn't it possible that you simply wanted her back so much that
my imagination was playing tricks on me?
Something like that, yes. I want you to stay right there in that bed.
Well, I lay there for about a week. I guess I was just about convinced that's the way it was. I mean, it was the only thing I could think of that seemed to explain everything. Well, one day they told me I could get up, and they brought me my clothes. And then I found the silver medallion in one of my shoes. That's where it must have fallen when she dropped it. There was no question about it. It was the one I had made for Corey. At her funeral, at the reception, I had been the last one in line to look at her. I'd reached into the coffin and placed the medallion in her sweet, cool hand and gently curled her fingers over it. And then they closed the lid. I never told that to the ship's doctor. Do you think I should have?
Suspense. You've been listening to The Silver Shoe, written especially for Suspense by Robert Reddick. Suspense is produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Heard in tonight's story were William Mason, Tony Darnay, Dick Keith, Rita Lloyd, Gertrude Warner, and Ralph Camargo. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Sound patterns by Walter Otto. Technical direction by Michael Shoskis. This is Stuart Nett speaking. Listen again next week when we return with Pages from a Diary, written by Virginia Voland and starring Jim and Henny Backus. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. 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 Suspense.